I would like to now introduce Mr. Brian Felesky. Mr. Felesky is an alumnus of William Aberhart High School and is currently Vice Chairman, Investment Banking Canada, Credit Suisse. He was a founding partner of Felesky Flynn, where he specialized in corporate tax law. He is currently a director of Sequence Energy Limited and is chair of the advisory board of Aspen Properties, among other private companies. Mr. Felesky was a founding co-chair of Homefront, an organization which has been bringing anti-violence and anti-abuse programs to homes, schools, and workplaces for over 13 years. He is a member of We Day, Organizing Committee Calgary, which works with schools and teachers around the world to bring a culture of caring for school children. The We Day main event has seen over 17,000 children at the Saddle Dome from 550 Alberta schools in the past 2 years, and this event will be held again in October. Mr. Felesky is on the board of Empowering Minds for Calgary Board of Education Kids and the Council of the Alberta Order of Excellence. Other causes Mr. Felesky has been involved with include Transformation Calgary, Calgary Stampede Foundation, and Awali, a teacher development project in East Africa. Mr. Felesky is a member of the Order of Canada, Queen's Counsel, and received an honorary Doctor of Laws from the University of Calgary. Please help me welcome Mr. Brian Felesky to the stage.
As I was making my way to the stage, Brenda Mackey said, "Now, Brian, having heard Stephanie, top that." And that indeed has been my challenge, my wonderful challenge all my life. I never do. Ladies and gentlemen, guests, friends all, I'm terribly honored to be with you this evening and to celebrate this imperative cause of public education. Unlike Stephanie, I'm not particularly deserving of this particular award. She's the one that's been in the trenches of the education world here in Calgary, having graduated distinction, toiled with Music Alive, having toiled with so many enterprises and so many fronts for kids and family in the community. And I just wanted to celebrate her, who wouldn't be here, but that I said, "Stephanie, you must." It's a tribute to everything that you work for and all the army of volunteers that you've worked with. You have to be accoladed this evening. And so I'm here only carrying her bags, as I often do. One of Stephanie's mantras that some might say she's overdosed on is the principle that if you give a girl the right education, she will be a success. But then, if you give that girl the right pair of shoes, she'll take over the world. And if you look at Stephanie's closet and closets, she has an armament that is a clear signal of the giant strides that she's made and continues to make elegantly in the right pair of shoes. I would like to call Steph back up to the stage and on your behalf, celebrate more ammo for her closet. And for those of you that are in some dismay, the ammos are not fireworks tonight. At least not yet. Stephanie, do come up. This ammo is courtesy of Mr. Valentino. And is from a shop in town that I should be recognized as a major equity holder. Sweetheart, come up here. And in fitness of a girl with the right education and the right pair of shoes can take over the world, I, my dear, give you these jazzy shoes.
I'll take them.
And no fear, she will keep striding elegantly.
Not all that carefully.
And so I just want to add my personal hug and applause to Steph. Without a doubt, she's my inspiration, she's my strength, she's my lifetime teacher, she's my hero, and I'm so proud of her. As so many people have said, and what this is all about, we're celebrating the important and vital cause of public education. Public education is just not the best way for kids to seek opportunity. It's the only way. It's the only way for 95% of the kids in this community. On a personal basis, I went through the public system, and some parents have the privilege of actually taking their children to school. Well, when I was 8 and my sister was 7, my mother took us to school. She took us to school because she was going to school too. She was a single parent, had gone through a hell of a divorce, and she had to go back to school in this little village town of Chile, Alberta, to complete her grade 12, and she did. And then she made her way to Calgary, very humbly worked as a stenographer years, and her 2 children made their way through the public school system for the most part. I took 1 year in a hockey camp. So I very personally want to thank the public education system for helping a single mother and her 2 kids, and helping all the other people who are challenged but find their way into the public education system and see the promise of the dream, see the opportunity, because it is open for them. And the open for them will bring us to another subject that causes concern. But before we get to there, I'd like to, like Stephanie did, salute those special teachers, and there's so many special teachers in the audience today, and no doubt some of our scholars will themselves become special teachers. I was so impressed with the qualifications of the leader scholars this evening. As Stephanie alluded, the teachers that inspired us are those teachers who taught the curriculum true, but they taught values. They taught us that success is making your life significant. The person who articulated that best for me was a year away in hockey school in a little prairie institution called Athol Murray School of Notre Dame. And Athol Murray expired that every life is insignificant until you decide to make it great. And Bill Mooney and Lois are here today, a couple of very fine examples of that inspiration. Thank you, Bill and Lois. And to those teachers, we can't celebrate and applaud you enough, because you have in your tutorage, you have in your custody, you have in your care, the most precious element of our society and of our personal being, that is our children and our future. We need to recognize you and applaud you, thank you, Michael, more than we do as a society and as a government. What about this recognition? Well, it should be given the highest priority. And I was chagrined to learn in preparing for this address that for the last consecutive 4 years, the amount of contribution that's made by our government to the Calgary Board of Education has declined every year. So it's declined for 4 years in succession, notwithstanding, of course, that our costs have accreted incrementally over those same 4 years. I'm sure there's many explanations and reasons why, but surely it says to us all, we as a community and we as a government are not standing up as tall as we should when we're providing declining resources to an education system that has mounting costs. Next year, the deficit for the Calgary Board of Education will be $33 million. No amount of fee increases and larger classes will look after that deficit. So to all of you, and to those of us who've come to the realization, we must voice our deep concern on behalf of the educators and behalf of the public school board. We have to say to honorable MLAs like the Honorable Ken Hughes, who works so tirelessly, Ken, whatever other priorities you have in front of us, nothing is more important than our children. Now, in the same respect, and Stephanie was alluding to a task force recently with the government of Alberta, and we do have to applaud the government with all its challenges, that they recently commissioned a task force under the auspices of the Minister of Education, Jeff Johnson. And I was just delighted, as you would be if you've read it. Its words are very inspiring. The task force, as Steph alluded to, is called Teaching Excellence. And amongst its many recommendations, one is that we must have competency reviews for all teachers every 5 years. And presumably, the great thing about the competency review for teachers every 5 years is we will identify those who are excellent and perpetuate those excellence. We will identify those teachers who are passionate but need a hand and provide them with a hand. And we will identify those teachers who lack the passion and lack the competence and release them from the system. Do you know that we have 40,000 teachers in the public school system? And over the last 10 years, do you know how many have been released for lack of competency? Not one. And that's tragic. So I think we would all join and say to the province, press forward with the competency reviews. Needless to say, and predictably, the union has said no to the competency reviews. And we must say back to the province, the union either agrees about competency reviews or you legislate competency reviews. It's important for excellence in the province and the very good teachers we have and the betterment of our system. Like you, we all celebrate the great private schools, the Calgary Academy, Rundle Academy, Wick, Strathcona and the like. We don't want to put you in a position where because of a lack of competency review and a lack of help, our very best teachers are gravitating to the private school system. So yes, to competency reviews. And also, as others have alluded, the whole Education Matters tradition must be given a big high five. It was started in 2003 to help the community and help the teachers and help the institution sponsor greater excellence amongst teachers and programming in the public school system. It started in 2003. It It was the first one in the country. It's now the model for a whole bunch of others across the country. And since 2003, as a senior program, they've contributed over $7 million to betterment of programs, inspiring leaders, as you saw tonight. And through your help and your attendance and your involvement, they'll continue to do such extraordinary good work. So hats off. And thank you to Marilyn Field for the courtesies through preparing for this evening. It's been splendid, and the kids that performed, I'm intimidated by some of the outstanding credentials of the scholarship winners. And I'm inspired by our family that Stephanie alluded to. We have Wade and Rebecca and Samara represented here tonight, and David not able to make it, and our son Adam and Laurie are in Toronto. We have 6 fantastic grandchildren, and while they're busily managing all the issues of their children and busily pursuing their careers, we're so proud that they too have got the infection of working in the community and helping others. As Jim Gray says, who's here tonight, the Venerable Jim Gray, that life is all about those vital 3 spheres that are eclipsing one another: your career, your family, and the community. And to the extent that those ambitions, those 3 spheres, are reflected in our kids through the leadership of Stephanie and her continuing effort to train me and bring me along, we're so gratified. So to all you pals that are here, all friends that we've worked with on boards and community endeavors and business and the like, we say thank you from the bottoms of our heart. I can't help but note that 2 of the recipients of past distinguished honors are Quincy Smith and Stevie Allen, and we all went to university together and we're in the same damn fraternity. And while we can agree the right education is inspiring for success and critical for success, we're not on the shoe thing about the right shoes to get you out there in the world. We were all concerned about the right beer and lots of it. Whatever that quotient was, it seemed to have worked, because those guys and so many of you were through the public education system and a wonderful public university system here today with such blessing and such pride and such community. So to you all, for your support, your leadership, your friendship, and your love, thank you so much. Want a picture with me in my Holt Renfrew bag?